Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Curtis, and today I'm going to do a review of Sistas Season 9, Episode 8. Before I get started, I do want to let you all know I am going to review Zatima on BET Plus. It comes on next week. I'm also going to review Beauty in Black. It comes on Netflix next week. And I am going to review Reasonable Doubt. It will be on Hulu. So the episode starts off with Rich walking up to Frank and Sabrina as they are having a conversation. And Rich, he is pissed, right? He's like, look, brother, you need to take your old ass out of here so I can talk to my woman. And Frank is like, you know what? I'll step away. I'll let you two have a conversation. But as he is walking away, he actually grabs onto Sabrina's hand. Rich sees this and he actually slaps his hand away. And so that could have been a big deal. But Frank is like, you know what? I'm going to let you have it. And so Sabrina and Rich, they have a conversation. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? And Sabrina's like, listen, I'm here to live my life. I'm here to have a good time. Just let me be. She walks away. And surprisingly, Rich does not follow after her. So I was like, okay, crisis avoided. As Sabrina is walking away, Andy enters the bar. And so Andy sees her and she's like, hey, what are you doing here? And Sabrina's like, I'm here to get my sexy back. I'm here to have a good time. And Andy's like, Sabrina, you know, just like I know, you are not built for the streets. You are not built for this whole life. Like, what are you doing? And Sabrina's like, you know what? You were absolutely right. I'm not built for the streets. I'm not built for the whole life. But I feel like in this moment, I just need to be free. I need to live my life. Because as far as being a good girl, as far as being a prissy girl, it's boring. She feels like good girls finish last. And what has it really gotten me at this point, right? And so she's like, well, since you're asking me these questions about why I'm here, why are you here? And so she's like, oh, you know, I just came here to get some food. Basically telling her the same thing she told Fatima in the office. But we all know that she's there to see Dr. Vaughn. As the two of them are talking, Frank walks up and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm getting ready to go out to the valet so they could pull the car up, right? And so he walks away. And so Sabrina starts asking Andy, you know, do you want to go to the bar? Do you want to get something to drink? And Andy's like, no, you want to be out in the streets. You want to be a hoe? Go on. And she's like, are you sure you don't want to get something to drink? And she's like, no, you want to be out there, so go on. So Frank and Sabrina, they do make it to Sabrina's house. And Sabrina, she's clearly tipsy. She's like, you know, do you like it fast? Do you like it slow? How do you want it? And he's like, you know what? I'm a man of mystery, but I could pretty much do whatever is needed when it comes to sex, right? And so as they are talking, Sabrina brings up the fact that she is so real. And so Frank, he starts looking at her and he's like, is your hair real? And she's like, what do you mean is my hair real? And he's like, oh, I just want to know just in case I want to pull it during sex. And this throws her completely off. So she actually goes into another room, calls Maurice, and is like, this guy asked me, is my hair real? Like, what's going on? And Maurice, he's like, look, you need to calm down, relax, and let this man fuck you and just go on about it. And I was just like, Maurice, terrible advice. So Sabrina and Frank eventually make it into the bedroom, and y'all, Frank, his dick can't get hard. He is trying everything he possibly can to try to get it hard. He's thinking about things. He's trying to jack off, but nothing is happening. And Sabrina's like, you promised me a full tank. Like, what is going on? And he's like, look, I was drinking a lot. So she's like, okay, so you're blaming the alcohol? And then it's like, well, there are some other things as well. I'm currently in between jobs. You know, they're trying to force me into retirement. Like, I'm stressed out. And Sabrina's just like, oh my God, this is stupid. And so Sabrina has one of those voice assistant AI speakers. And she's like, you know, what do you do if you can't get hard? She used other terms, but essentially she's like, you know, what do you do if you can't get hard? And the AI assistant starts talking about erectile dysfunction. And so Frank, he's clearly embarrassed. So he gets up and he rushes out. And Sabrina just starts laughing. And I was just like, not what you expected, huh? Going back to Andy, she is having a conversation with Dr. Vaughn. And, you know, they're talking about, you know, the things that they will put up with, things they will not put up with. And we find out during this conversation that Dr. Vaughn, he does not want to get married. He does not want to have kids. And also, he brings up the fact that he has never dated a black woman. Andy starts to question him about this. Like, what do you mean you never dated a black woman? And so he goes on to explain his stance. But at the end of it, he says, you know what? I love my black women. And she's like, okay, prove it. She pulls out a folder and has paperwork regarding Dr. Cruz. And she says like, hey, I just want to let you know I am thinking about bringing a lawsuit against Dr. Cruz. And this throws Dr. Vaughn completely off because he's like, wait a minute, hold on. So you agreed to come out to the bar to have a date with me just so you could throw this in my face. Like, what is this about? Like, is any of this real? And she's just like, look, The things that he did to Karen, the things that he's doing to other women, it's not right. We need to get some type of justice for those women. And he's just like, look, I'm going to keep it real with you. Ever since I helped you all out, I have been on the board's radar. In fact, I actually have a meeting with them coming up because they are upset with me for going against Dr. Cruz. So me getting involved in a lawsuit is not going to make anything better. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to get me fired? Like, what are you doing? She reiterates the fact that, you know what, this has to do with women in general. Like, we have to try to find some type of justice, and I really need your help. Like, come on, just help me, please. And Dr. Cruz, he has that look on his face like he knows that he needs to help out, but at the same time, he's like, but my career, like, I cannot put my career in jeopardy. I'm just like, Dr. Vaughn, I mean, what are you going to do? In regards to Zach and Fatima, she's trying to do everything she can to try to cheer Zach up, but he is completely zoned out. He's not paying her any attention. She even tries to bring up the fact that they have a new client named Chaz Duncan, and the fact that Hayden was out here fangirling, not fanboying, but fangirling over him, but that doesn't work. Zach looks over at Fatima and he's like, look, I have something I need to tell you. I actually went to go visit Karen. And Fatima, her face drops, right? And so he's like, I went over to see her just to see how she's doing. And she's actually doing worse than I thought. He brings up the fact that the baby was crying and how Karen, she did not move. She did not say anything. It was almost as if she was a zombie. And he is really concerned. And so he starts going on and on about, how Karen is doing. And then he pretty much summarizes it as, you know what? I don't even know why I'm even like giving this as much time and attention because she is in a relationship with Aaron. That is Aaron's problem. So I need to step away and fall back. Fatima gives some words of encouragement, and then she's like, you know what? I have a surprise for you. And so I'm thinking like it's going to be something really big, something really good. But she just comes out with some tacos, and me and Zach were just both like, tacos, okay. And he's like, you know what? I really do not have an appetite. And then next thing you know, somebody knocks on the door, and Fatima's like, are you expecting somebody? And then he rushes up, gets the door, and then he lets a woman in. And she's like, who is this? And I'll be honest with you all, and this is just my way of thinking. I thought that he was about to ask her to have a threesome. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's what I thought. But he was like, this is heaven, and she's a midwife. And Fatima's like, a midwife? Fatima tells Zach and the Lady Heaven that she wants to give birth at a hospital with a black doctor that she knows. She's not really interested in doing a home birth. And so the midwife says, you know what? Even though we do start out at home, if an emergency does occur, we will go to the hospital. And so Zach says, oh no, we're not doing the hospital. We've already been through that. And I was like, oh, okay, I see. So he does not want the same thing that happened to Fatima that happened to Karen. And of course, this is going to piss Fatima off because she's like, oh, so you're comparing me to Karen. Like, I know that's a traumatic situation and that is something that I've never experienced. So therefore, I don't know the pain that comes with it. But at the same time, just like Fatima said, it's her body. So she should be the one to make the choice. And then as far as Zach, I get what he's saying as well. He's like, well, I'm the father, so I should have some type of involvement. And it's like, yeah, you should have some kind of involvement, but when it comes to somebody giving birth and having to push a baby out, I feel like the mother should have more involvement than the father. That's just me though. When it comes to Karen and Danny scenes, I'm just going to put those together because there really wasn't much that happened. So let's start out with Karen. So Karen and Aaron, they are laying in the bed and the baby is crying, the baby is yelling, the baby is screaming, right? And mind you, the crib is right next to Karen, right? But Karen is not getting up. So Aaron is tapping her like, come on, please just give me a break. Like, just get up and take the baby so I can get some sleep. But she pretends as if she doesn't hear him, right? So Aaron does get up, grab the baby, picks the baby up, and the baby is continuing to cry. And so Karen, I guess she can't take it anymore. She says, please take it out of it. Please take that thing out of here. And Aaron, he doesn't say anything in the moment, but he does eventually come back and confront her. And he's like, you can't talk about the baby as if it's just like a thing, like an object, calling it a it. Like, what is wrong with you? And she's just like, look, this is hard for me. I am scared. I don't want to make any more mistakes. And Aaron's just like, look, I just want you to know that when it comes to what happened at the hospital with you losing the baby, that was not your fault. Like, that is something that happened. It is unfortunate, but that is not your fault. And I feel like that is something that really got through to Karen because I really want Karen to be, in a good space. I really want her to do better. So hopefully Aaron is able to get through to her. Now, as far as with Danny and Tony, They really do not have anything going on. Tony, he's on the couch. He's basically being somewhat of a bum. He's just laying there not doing anything. And Danny is continuing with the joke of, when are you going to get a job? When are you going to get some money? And he's talking about how he plans to be like a motivational speaker, or he plans to do this and do that, things that he doesn't have any experience in doing. And so she's just like, I mean, that's cool that you want to do that, but how's that going to bring in any income? Like, you do not have any experience. Like, do you have any offers? So they essentially just kind of go back and forth on that. But that's something that they have been talking about since he announced that, he was quitting the job. So I do want that storyline to evolve. I do want something a little bit more for Danny, because I like Danny, but her character, it just doesn't seem like there's really anything going on. In the last scene, Fatima and Danny, they are having a conversation. Fatima asks Danny, how was Zach doing when you came to visit him? And she's like, you know what? He was a little down and out, but I feel like he will push through. Fatima brings up the fact that Zach wants to have a midwife, wants her to have a home birth. And it's also during the scene that Fatima actually admits that she was relieved when she found out that Karen lost Zach's baby. And it just so happened that Zach was actually walking down the stairs as she was saying this, and he overheard it. And I was just like, oof, this is not going to be good. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. If you could, please like, comment, share, subscribe. That would be great. Going back to what I was saying a little bit earlier in the video, I am going to review Zatima. I am going to review Beauty in Black. And I'm also going to review Reasonable Doubt. So if you like any of those shows, please subscribe to my page. And that's all I got for you all. You all take care. Bye.